Okay, continuing on, let's jump into Modeler. And let's do Shift N to create a new object. And then let's go here to our text tool under our Create tab. And let's just create those fonts in the back. Now, you can do all kinds of things. These things in the back can just be the company slogan, the station slogan, ID. I see, one thing they do here in Chicago is they put, this long string of all different cities and suburbs. So you could do things like that. I'm not going to worry about being too exact here as far as things like that because we're using mixed cities for the images. But I think let's just do. We're just gonna type in ABC 7 News. We'll put Chicago. Okay. And then I'm going to open up numeric and let's pick a good font. And again, like the sports, you'll certainly have fonts dictated to you from your producers or designers, like I'm working with today. But we have creative freedom now, and I'm trying to pick. Oh, that's a good one. I want to pick one that you probably would have as well. And actually, I like how that Bank Gothic looks. Baskerville's kind of 80s, and Bodini's okay. A little too scripty. Let's use that one before I forget it. Bank Gothic. If you don't have this one, it's okay. Just find something like it. And I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to turn it off. And let's just move it around here to see. Yep. Okay. Just one big long string of text. That's all it is. Going to press F2 to center, A to fit. Going to press Q. And we're going to call this ABC 7 News Chicago. Okay. We'll surface the whole thing. We don't want it to be the default color. And we're going to stick with kind of like blues and oranges. Just very warm colors, warm and cool. And we could change those. But Control S goes to our objects folder, ABC7. We'll call it news background. News background font. Okay, and we'll send that off to layout. Okay, now you can see it right back there. We have our textured shaded solid. We can go front face wireframes if we want. Now it's a little difficult to see because we have, well, transparency, but doesn't show up till we render. If you press D for options here, even if you put some of these on, you could probably turn it and see it. Yeah, that helps. So I put the transparency channel on in the OpenGL settings. Depending on your video card and where you're at with Lightwave and revisions, this may or may not be available. But try it out. I'm pretty sure that's there in 9. Okay, so just transparency channels. So you'll see your transparent values. It's a little different than this one. Okay, they kind of go hand in hand. Okay, so if I had one on and you didn't see it, then I had put the transparency channel on. Okay, preferences. Okay, hello hub. Go back to objects, and we're going to keep this nice and large like that. We're going to put it right back there. Okay, now let's put our length of our animation in 300 frames for 10 seconds. We're only going to go to about 6 seconds. Yeah, I don't think we want to do more than that. But it's good to have a little tail on it. Okay, so all we're going to do with this, we can move it either way. Left to right, right to left. So let's go down here to position and lock the X, lock the Y and the Z. Okay, the X is all we want to move. Unless you want that position up just a little bit more. Maybe something like that. Now, when we're doing broadcast, press D for display options. You can, if you want, show safe areas. And maybe we should. Okay, so that's right down here under display, show safe areas. And what that is, hello hub. God, that thing just loves to pop up, doesn't it? And this will tell you, it's a little more old school because things are a little different now with HD, but not everybody's HD in flat panels. So you want to keep your text inside this inner ring. And let me open this up here. This composition overlay, you can actually change that to a different color if you want. And there's our orange. That should pop up a different color, but doesn't look like it's working today. That's okay. And what you want to do is keep your video inside this ring here and your text inside this ring. And what that means is that anything beyond it, you should assume that it's not going to be seen. And again, with flat panels today and different televisions, it probably is not necessarily the case. But so you could keep this, way up here, so it bleeds off the screen, or keep it underneath. Now, it's a little hard for me to kind of move this like this. All right, that's because I got a 20-meter grid. Same thing happened with our sports package. So I'm going to use my left bracket key, press it a couple of times, and now I've got a 2-meter grid. And now look how much more precisely I can move this. So I'm going to keep it right about there. Okay. Then I'm going to lock my y-axis. So all we want to do with this sucker is just move it left to right, right to left. And now that the axis is locked, I can just click and drag, and it's only going to move where I need it. And I want to start probably right about here. Okay, auto key is on. So then let's just move down to frame 300. And we're just going to move it all the way so that that still remains on the screen like that. We've just created animation. Okay, press the play button. And that's actually a good speed across the back. Okay, so there is that first portion. Control S, let's save this scene because we've not done that yet. Go to Broadcast, Projects, Scenes, and we'll call this News version 001. Okay, now all I'm going to do with this is Control C to clone it. Cloned it once. We're going to go to Modify and Move Path. And then we're going to take the Z-axis and move it forward in front of the buildings, like that. Let's turn these back on here. And then we're going to do Shift-H for size, and we're going to size that down a little bit. And it's sizing to its pivot point, which is off to the right, so that's okay. But now we're just going to move it kind of like this and pull it down in front. And we're going to move this one on the X as well, but we're going to start the opposite. We're going to go here. It could probably even come down a little bit lower. Something like that. Okay. Frame 300, I'm actually going to press Delete. Okay. Because we only had 2 keyframes. And then at frame 300, on the X, I'm just going to move it all the way to the right. So it ends up right there. Okay, S to save the scene. Now you've got these fonts just kind of going like that around the city. Pretty easy. But it's a nice touch that those are actually behind the buildings. Okay, and if you render this, it's not going to look like much. It's just going to be some blue fonts in front of the buildings and behind the buildings. But it's going to get a lot better. Because we're going to start texturing and applying some video to these and doing all kinds of things. So let's move on to the next video. And I will take you in. I think we should do, at this point, start getting the overall look set up here for this particular scene. Let's get that background color out of there. That was just temporary so you can see the buildings. And get some textures on these letters here. Because then we got to start putting in our wisps. And I think you're going to be surprised how we're going to do those.